I've been told the weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello and welcome to Country with Celine. Today we are joined by two very special ladies, Kansas and Kendra Jensen, better known as the Jensen Sisters.
I've packed your bags, they're right there by the door. Don't bother coming back, cause I ain't doing this no more. You can take all your money in your so-called class, don't let the door stab you in the back on your way out.
So guys, how are you ladies doing tonight?
We are doing so well.
We're doing great.
We're gearing up. We actually have a live show this weekend in Minnesota. So we're gearing up for that. It's a chill week for us, but we're excited.
Packing away our social anxiety from, quarantine and all that, and we're getting our socialness back.
We're physically packing for a show, which we haven't done in such a long time.
That's the very first show that you guys are going to be performing at.
Yeah, since October of 2020. It's going to be the first live show. So
wow, that's exciting. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see posts from that.
Tons.
And now, so you guys have your latest album out called Yellow Frames, and you guys released that back in 2020. You received a lot of great feedback from that. So what does the album Yellow Frames mean to you?
yeah, well, first of all, thank you. It's releasing it in 2020 was such a whirlwind. It doesn't feel real. I think when we get to actually perform it, which we'll get to do this weekend and hopefully more this summer, it'll feel like the album's actually finally out. Just because we haven't gotten to see the feedback from people. So that'll be fun. And I think for us, Yellow Frames, it just came from a really genuine place of trying to look on the bright side. Which when we wrote the record, we were not planning for a year like 2020 when we ended up releasing it, but it worked out great. And I think it's just a collection of songs that are who we are as writers, as people, and what we go through in the everyday. So.
Well, I mean, everything happens for a reason. So there could have been a reason why Yellow Frames got released in 2020, right?
That's so true.
That's so true, yeah.
So what would you guys say is your favorite song? Maybe you guys both have like different songs that you love on the album. So which one would you say is your favorite? Let's start with Kendra first, and then we'll go Kendra.
Okay. Well, it's so hard picking favorites, but
they're like our children.
Right. I mean, one that was special for me had to have been Be of Bad Habit. I actually had a dream about that song, and that's how we wrote it. So I wrote it through a dream that I had, and then I brought it to Kansas, and I think we finished it with Jason Hammer, who is a friend of ours, like the next day.
Like
and
30
so
minutes, quick.
We finished it really quick, and so that was really fun. I've never had that before. Sometimes I'll have dreams where I hear melodies and I never remember them, but this one was very specific, and I remembered it, and so that was a fun experience.
But I was born to the beat of a bad habit. I've been falling since my feet hit the ground.
I say my favorite or favorites, I can't really choose one, but it's either, On the Fringe or the Marshall County Incident, because I'm the type of girl who loves conspiracy theories. And I mean, I grew up watching WWE, like I was that kind of kid. And so Marshall County Incident, that's just like, I feed off of that. I love that song so much. And it's just such a great story.
That's funny that you said that, because I was actually going to ask, why did you decide to write that song? Based on conspiracies that you were feeding off of your entire life.
Well, more than that, the story behind the song is interesting, because we came from a place of wanting to write a story song, and we grew up listening to songs like The Legend of Willie Swamp from the Charlie Daniels Band, Long Black Veil, that sort of thing. And so we love those stories, and particularly some of the spookier country music songs. I don't know, we just love them. And so we wanted to write this story song, and we came into the room that day and we were like, what are we gonna write? And remembered a story that actually, a real story that happened in our home in northern Minnesota in the 70s. And so the Marshall County Incident is based off of a true story. There is really a Marshall County, Minnesota. And in the 70s, what happened was there was
Sheriff.
a police
Yeah,
officer
police.
who was patrolling one night, and he ran into something unexpected, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
It was
no one can explain it.
it
Really.
was a big deal in the 70s, and they still have the cop car on display at the local county fair every summer. And we grew up hearing the story and looking at the car at the fair, and so we wrote that song, and we said, we love it, and we didn't know we would ever be able to release it. And we said, well, I think now is as good as time as ever. There's no one really telling us what to do yet. And so we can release whatever we want. And we decided to put it on the record. And it's kind of an oddball, but people love that song, and they always ask about it.
Yeah, and everything in the song, like we were doing research, like it was 14 minutes off from when he woke up. Like everything's pretty accurate.
Right. If you were to Google or search for the true story, we tried to keep it as similar as we could.
On a dark, lonely night, out amongst the stars, Highway 220 was his route. In a blink of an eye, between the flashing lights, Deputy Warren saw the truth. 'Cause you don't know what you know. Don't know what you see until you see it.
That's really interesting. I'm definitely
Very interesting.
I'm gonna look more into that. So I'm guessing you guys both believe that there are actual UFOs up there. There are aliens.
I'm open to the idea.
Kansas
I'm
is
more open.
more open-minded than I am. I just like the story. And
It's cute.
And I mean, okay, in the song, if you listen to it, we never really say what we think happened. Everyone has their ideas, but no one really knows. And that's sort of the message we wanted to bring to the song is we wanted to present it to people how we heard it growing up.
Yeah, no one knows. You can have your own ideas about it. I mean, the guy that it happened to, he completely went off the grid. No one really knows, about him.
He skipped town, and he didn't want anything to do with it. But if you listen to the recording, you'll hear in the beginning and in the solo that there is some audio, and that's actually the audio that the police officer called into the station dispatched minutes after it happened.
What is it like Connor? I don't know how to explain it. Strange. Something attacked my car. I heard the glass breaking and the brakes locked up. I don't know what's going on.
So we got the raw audio, and it was just really fun to bring that part of our home into our album.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I have one more question before I move on. How hard was that to get that raw audio? Because now I'm thinking of like Beyonce's song XO, and she like incorporated the Apollo 11 or 13, one of the, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but she incorporated it. So how hard was it to get like the raw audio of that?
We had to make some phone calls.
I had to make some phone calls with some really, really Midwestern folks,
Yeah, I mean, folks from our home. And so we had to call the local police station, and we talked to Deputy Willie Wagner, I believe, which is so Midwestern. I love it so much. And he was the kindest soul, and he directed us, and he helped us out a lot at the sheriff's office. And he helped us get the audio. And what's really interesting, actually, and this, if you are a conspiracy person, this will
it'll bring you in more.
This will bring you in more. So he gave us the audio, but he said there's only this one small clip because days after this happened, the full dispatch call, which was 20 some minutes long, just disappeared from the police station.
No one knows where it is.
No one knows where it is. But they have this one small clip. And so I was like, okay.
Yep.
Well,
that's proof.
Sure. And so they don't know where the full audio is, but we had that section, and they gave it to us.
That's good enough for us.
Yeah, that's good. Wow. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's so much like crazy stuff like in this where you can't explain. Like
we could go on for hours,
Girl,
like
don't get me started.
That's well, you know what? I think we need to have a talk about like all of this one day, like after this interview. Like this is interesting. But okay, let's move on to the next question. So a lot your songs, your music is not pop country like whatsoever. I don't hear no pop. It's like outlaw country, and it reminds me of like the classic country. So who are your inspirations?
our inspirations are all across the board.
They really are. And I mean, we joke about it, but we will say Britney Spears and Waylon Jennings in the same sentence.
Yep.
Just because that's who we are. And people listen to our music and they automatically, like you said, you know, think of the outlaw country, the classic country. And
we draw from that down deep.
We do.
Like to tie in other things.
We do. And I think, you know, if you listen, there are, not necessarily in the production, but maybe in the writing, there are some more pop elements. But for the most part, we just write the kind of music that we like to listen to, and it's going to be all over the place. But we have always had such a soft spot for true classic country music. And we knew that that's what we wanted to do. And we had to sit down and have a conversation with ourselves at the very beginning of starting the Jensen Sisters. And we had to be honest and say, like, hey, we want to do this. We want to do it our own way. And it's not probably what's going to be commercially popular. We're not going to maybe get played on the radio, but it's the music that we love. And we decided that we wanted to do it regardless. And so far, people have been very, very kind. So we're just super thankful.
You know what I have to say as well, when you guys sing, like, before I listened to you guys, I was not expecting the voices that came out of you. Like, I was so expecting, like, pop. Like, I was honestly expecting, like, something totally different, but I love it. Like, I love the voice.
We like to trick people.
We do.
You guys don't sound like you have that, like, country voice, that, like, I can't even explain, just, like, that country twangy, not even a twang. It's just not like Kelsey Ballerini, that's for sure. That's what I think.
Well, we love Kelsey, and we will listen to pop country, and we always say that there has to be pop country if you want outlaw. If you want outlaw country, there has to be both, and there's a balance, and it all belongs. And so we're not going to sit here and say that one is better than the other, but we do like to trick people, especially during our live shows. We get up there and we look like we might sing some pop country tunes, and we start busting out Waylon Jennings, and people don't know what to think, but it's fun. And I think the more we get to release our own music, especially in the future as we continue to do this, people will get to see all sorts of sides to the music.
I also think it's fun because with both of our vocal ranges, Kendra can go pretty high, I can go pretty low. I mean, I would sing bass sometimes in our choir, like.
Right. And so I think maybe that adds an element to just our sound.
It's just super fun to play with stuff.
Yeah, you need it, because I've heard of a lot of, like, other duos who, when they sing, they sound like their voices don't, like, go up or down. It's just the same. So it's like they're crisscrossing over each other constantly, and it's not that appealing to the ear, right? But, like, with you guys, it's a nice contrast, so it works perfectly. Now, moving on from music, let's talk about what we talked about before this interview, your clothing line and your radio show. So you guys launched a clothing line with Simply Boutique. It's like a tongue twister to me. It's a Minnesota-based fashion line, and now you guys also have a radio show called Gypsy Outlaw, which is a weekly FM broadcast. Now, how do you guys juggle all of this, like, with your music, your clothing line, radio show? Like, how do you girls do it?
Well, I think people think we're a lot cooler than we are, but I promise you we have quite a bit of time on our hands, which is nice to fill up those sort of things. But yeah, we're just really passionate about all the avenues. Music has always been our number one, and we always say we're music fans first, and then music lovers first, and then we're musicians, and then the radio show ties in with that. And so when it comes to radio, we just sort of lucked out. They gave us our own show at the time.
We get to make our own set list every week, so we get to show people the music that we truly love.
Right, and we get to really show that music lover side of us. And on top of that, it's very fun for us because we get to interview artists on our show. And so we've had Brent Cobb, Hannah Dasher,
Diamond
Rio. And so a lot of folks that we love, and we say it's like the ultimate dream because we get to pull some ideas out of them. And it's like, if every artist had the opportunity to sit down with other artists that they admire who've been doing this maybe longer than them, it's like the dream come true. So it's been super fun for us.
And with the clothing boutique, you know, we also get a little freedom with that. They show us pieces and we're like, hey, we want to show people or give people the opportunity to have clothes, or, you know, not to have clothes, but you know what I mean, to
buy pieces.
That are inspired by us, that we would be like, hey, we would totally wear that on stage.
Right. So everything you see in the boutique as well, it comes from us under the Jensen Sister line. And so we are just so thankful that we get to express ourselves through more ways than just our music.
I love that. So were you guys like always like fashionistas, would you say? Like, is that kind of why you guys wanted to start like your own little clothing line?
Well,
A little bit of it. Kendra's more growing up, you know, I was that kid that was always dirty for some reason. I just had like mud on my face.
Kansas was a bit more of a tomboy.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest dream come true for me.
Oh, I know.
I mean, if 5-year-old
me doing makeup and
right, if 5-year-old me could see me now, she would have a heyday. And so I kind of feel like I'm living a childhood dream whenever I get to go in and work with the boutique. They have 2 locations now, so it's fun for us to get to go and see what they have in stores in East Grand Forks, Minnesota, and in Warren, Minnesota. And it is pretty much a dream come true.
That's awesome. And even going back to like the radio show, that's such a great platform to have, especially like to promote your own music and to also get to interview other artists, because that can lead to like features on different songs and like get more connections, and they introduce you to so-and-so and so-and-so, and just goes on. So that's really good for you girls. I'm really glad to hear all of that.
And you know, if we don't get played on any other radio station, at least we can play them on our own show. So we're getting those spins.
Exactly. And now you guys both also started, it's called the Highway Hippie Vlogs on your YouTube page, which was a total insight into like your personalities. Like, you girls are a hoot, honest to God. And like, the Kardashians, their show's done, so I think like we need the Jensen show. Do you guys need to?
We always say we need our own TV show.
We say that, and I honestly think that that's going to be our next venture. We've gone into retail and radio, and next it's going to have to be TV probably, because we just have a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say. We will be filming a Highway Hippie vlog during this weekend.
Yes.
So you'll get to see that
the
fun.
rawness of us.
And I mean, I think the internet, you can get on there and sometimes it can feel like, everyone is living the best life, and they have the best things, and it's always the best. And that's what we like to show people as humans. Naturally, we want to show our best sides, but I mean, Highway Hippie, sometimes it gets a little crazy.
It's a little rough.
And that's just how it is, how it be sometimes.
We like showing people the realness, because I remember in one of our episodes, we're like, we're playing, back to back with 3 Doors Down, Collect the Soul, and tomorrow we're mowing our lawn.
And that's just how it is. We're not that cool, and I think people need to know that, just because we're all the same,
We had an absolute blast at the Midwest CMA
stage,
VIP stage.
Awesome.
We're gonna go listen to Collect the Soul and 3 Doors Down now. So that's our lives today. Tomorrow,
boring.
Tomorrow we're mowing our lawn, but today, this weekend was insane. Thursday we did a photo shoot, played at Simply. Friday Grafton, Saturday Lakes Jam. Today, looking like a man and driving home.
You guys are so real and down to earth. That's what that whole vlogs, everything, even your TikToks too. Like, I saw one on your Instagram recently. This one had me crying. Please, you have to explain it to like the viewers here, because if they don't go on the TikTok and see this, they're not gonna know. So like, you have to explain it to them. So it was the one where you guys were talking about your relationship as sisters, and so someone peed their pants. Can you guys like explain this story?
Yeah. So we grew up farm kids, and it's the same farm we still live on, and we used to be in 4-H.
Yeah, we were 4-H kids,
which was a huge part of our lives.
Just like show business.
Right. That's kind of, Dolly Parton was in 4-H, and so we're like, girl, we got something in common with Dolly Parton. And we joke about that, but we used to show cattle, and we used to have sheep and rabbits and the whole 9 yards. And so after our 4-H days were done, we kept a small herd of our show cows, and the rest just went to a different farm. But the ones that we kept were Dolly, Loretta, Tammy, and Patsy.
The names, sorry, the names.
I know.
I'm all for it.
I know. I hope, I think it's flattering if you name someone after a cow. Hopefully it comes across the right way. but Tammy was for sure our favorite, and she was
Tammy
named
Wynette.
after Tammy Wynette. And so she was a little redhead, and she was full of spunk. And I don't think people know this, but animals, especially cows, are like big dogs
Oh yeah.
if they're trained.
Like she had a toy.
She had like toys in her pen. She would go for walks. We would pamper her. I mean,
yeah.
she was like a large cat, or she was like a large dog. And so we were going out to do chores one night for Tammy, and Kansas,
It
I think,
was Kendra's time to do it. You know,
Right.
we do other days because we're like sisters like that. No, it's your day to do it. No, it's my day.
right.
Anyways, so it was Kendra's day to do it, and it was late at night. We
But-
were getting home from a show or something like that.
Right.
You know.
And so it was technically my day to go out and do chores, but I was a little spooked. I'm a little afraid of the dark, and so Kansas came with me because she's nice. I don't think it
That
was
was not nice.
it was not it was kind of against her will.
Yeah.
But we went out
I
there, and
hold the flashlight.
Kansas decided to scare me.
Yeah, so Kendra was getting, hay from the bale and all that. I was holding the flashlight. I was like, oh, I'm so mad at Kendra for making me come out here. It's freezing cold and all that. I was like, Kendra, just hurry up. She's like, yeah, I'm trying. And so I was just like, I'm going to mess with it a little bit. So I shined the flashlight just a little corner, so it like darkened out where she was getting the hay. I was like, hey, I think that man over there wants us to leave.
And it spooked me so bad. I don't know why. I think it just caught me off guard, and I
Yeah.
was like, there's a man.
I like to mess with Kendra like that.
Sure. And then I was like, well, there's a man in here. And I don't know why. My first instinct was to just start running.
Yeah,
but
she dropped the pitchfork, yelled, shut up to me. She ran. She tripped on like a piece of plywood that was in our shed,
and then I think it was all downhill from there,
Oh,
literally, because I fell, and then I rolled, and then my pants fell down, and I just did not bother to put them back up. I was gone. I was a goner.
I think you fell one more time outside, too.
I did. And that's just, if you have siblings,
That's how it is.
you'll understand. You'll get it. And it's just how it is. And
Kendra gets me back, I get her again. Huh?
Right, exactly. So we have a ton of more
Oh.
stories where that came from. That was just one of many.
You guys need to post more of these stories. Please. Oh my god, when I heard that, I was literally crying. It's so funny. I got no siblings, so it's just me, so I don't have any of those stories, but I wish I did. But
You can be a third Jensen
Yes.
sister. Come hang out in Minnesota.
I'll be the really blonde one, I guess.
We'll do like an
we got like an ombre thing going on.
right.
so-
You'll be the very blonde.
Yeah, even though it doesn't look it right now because like I need my highlights back. But, like, okay, so let's get to know you guys a bit more. So you both grew up in Minnesota, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
So when did you guys figure out that you guys wanted to actually pursue music, especially as a duo? Was it like Kendra's idea or Kansas's idea? Like then you guys just came together. Like how did it all happen?
I think it was one of the times we actually agreed on something.
Yeah.
And we decided together to do it. Kansas grew up singing with her
church.
mom in church, and I would always sit in the pew. I was
We'd be
not.
like, come on, Kendra, just sing it.
I would not have it. I was super shy as a kid, which people that know me now are like, "That's weird.
Ow.
You can't shut up." But back then, super shy, and so it just was never always something I think I secretly wanted to do,
Mhm.
but nothing that I was ever just going to do.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about having a sister sometimes, or best friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll pull things out of you that you didn't
Yeah.
expect. And so that's kind of what happened. And we're 3 years apart. So we went to school together, and we had a choir class together. And outside the choir room, there was a sign-up sheet to sign up for
The talent show.
the school talent show. And we were like, let's sign up. And so
I was
we-
like, you're not going to sign up. Kid, just like, we're going to sign
we're
up.
gonna sign up. And so we signed up together, I think just as Kendra and Kansas.
Yeah.
And we told our mom, and she was like, that's kind of weird, but okay,
Yeah.
like you're gonna do it. And I,
She's like, you guys signed up, you're going to go through with it.
right. I almost chickened out 2 weeks in. 2 weeks before, I was like,
We're not
and
doing it.
it was like the whole tears. And my mom was like, you're doing it. You signed up.
Yeah,
And
You're
so
going to follow through.
you're gonna follow through. And we did, and we sort of just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And it's been a crazy, weird ride ever since.
Mm-hmm.
People don't think that, like, it sounds super cheesy to say like one thing kind of changed our whole paths in life, but
It really did.
that did. So,
Yeah.
and we're still doing it. So
And
it worked out.
What year exactly was this?
That was 2015.
Yep.
So it's been 6 years since that happened.
Wow.
And so I think the progression was sort of, we did the talent show, and
People are like, hey, you girls, you can sing at our church. You
right,
can.
we grew up in a very small town, and so the population of our hometown where our school was is only 132 people.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a very big talent show.
No.
There were no prizes. It was just more like, if
Everybody
you
have fun.
right. And so we did that, and after that, it was people in our school and our community who were like, hey, you guys can kind of sing. Why don't you come sing at this church event, or why don't you sing at our summer thing? And so our fundraiser. And
We're just
so
like, okay, yeah, we can learn some songs. Like,
sure. And I think that we would not be doing this as the Jensen Sisters without the people around us in our hometown, because they really, we could sing together, kind of, but they were the ones that were like, no, like, you're good, you're gonna do this, and we're gonna help you. And
like
so,
those, pushy old ladies, like, no, you guys can do it.
right. And so they really helped us a lot, and they sort of formed the Jensen Sisters.
Yeah.
So we did the talent show, and then one whole year later, we did our first like official gig.
We're like, oh my gosh, we're like famous.
We were doing a 2-hour set at a local festival in Grigla, Minnesota, which is another very small town right next to us.
Right next to us, it's half an hour away.
Right, if you're from a small town, you understand. But we were playing in Grigla, and it was just a summer festival, and I think we were playing for 2 hours, which was a big deal because that was the longest we'd ever sang before.
Yeah.
And after the show, one of the festival board members came up to us, and she handed us a check, and we're like, wait, we get paid for this? And it was made out to the Jensen Sisters, and we had never really thought of it, and we were just kind of going around as Kendra in Kansas, but we're like, oh, the Jensen Sisters, I guess that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And so we have been the Jensen Sisters ever since. Yeah. So technically it's been 6 years since that talent show, but I think 5 since we've been doing the Jensen Sister thing.
Wow, it's interesting to hear how you guys formed. It's so nice to live in a small town. I find that it's more of a tight-knit family community. Like, they just want to push you, and they want you to pursue your dreams, right, and go far. Like, they want you to make it. A lot of country songs are about this, about like leaving the small town, like getting out there, making it big. And I feel like that's exactly what like your town wants for you. That's really cool.
And I think anyone who's listening who has bigger dreams and is from a small town, it can sometimes feel isolating, just because a lot of people are super content with staying where they are and
grew up doing what your daddy did.
Right. And I mean, we love our small town. We wouldn't trade it for the world, but at the same time, it was super nice to see them sort of rally around us. And I want anyone from a small town to know that, you're not limited just because of where you are. And especially nowadays, you can do anything from just about anywhere, and you don't need to be in one specific spot in order to start doing what you love. And so that's the message that we want to put out there for anyone, because we are from a very small town and we still live here. So
you guys can do it. If you guys can do it, then anyone can. And you know what? There's social media nowadays too.
Yes.
Like, that's a huge, huge, huge platform to be on. And especially for country artists, like for you guys to put your songs out there, it goes around the world. Like, everyone, they can hear it. Like, all the way into like China, like everywhere, everybody can hear it. It's all thanks to social media nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But before I let you guys go, okay, so I'm sure you guys are well aware of TikTok edition. So like the sister edition or the boyfriend edition, where they go like, who fell in love first? And it's like,
yeah, we're ready. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna play my Country with Celine Rapid edition one of this, and I'm really excited to hear what your answers are. Okay, so first one is, who is the craziest?
Kansas.
Yeah.
Who is the most emotional?
Oh, for sure, me.
Who spends the most money on clothes?
Oh.
I'd say I'm more irresponsible with money, but you buy more clothes.
That's true. But she will spend all of it.
I will spend all of it.
That's right. I think I'm more Kansas in that sense. Who has the best taste in guys?
Kansas. Yeah. She's the she between the two of us, she is the I don't know how to say it. I don't know. She gets all the guys.
I get the guys. But then to be like, I'm not legal.
She turns 18 in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So
Oh my God, you're right. You're 17. Oh, you're still a baby. How old are you, Kendra?
21. So
Okay. You guys are
we are both. I know. I can legally play the shows that we're at that we
Yeah.
play now.
I have to sneak in the back door still.
Kansas still needs to sneak in the back, but
Wait a second. You guys play a show and she still has to sneak through the back door because she's
no,
not.
we're joking. But
We are like, sarcasm people.
we are. But a lot of the venues that we played, especially when we started playing music, a lot of the venues, we started playing bars when we were 12 and 15.
Yeah.
And so we always joked that Kansas needs, well, both of us back then had to sneak through the back door, but now only Kansas does because I'm 21.
That's a good joke. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Who would you say parties the hardest? Okay, well, I don't know if I should ask that question now because she's 17 years old.
I mean, we can,
I have the most fun.
yeah, Kansas does have a lot of fun.
And the last one is, who's most likely to get arrested?
I feel like I would get
I
arrested.
feel like you would too for something stupid.
like something like I would accidentally do something and then go into prison. That's
feel
my
like,
luck. So
Yeah.
yeah. Kansas could probably get away with
get out of it. That's the
Kansas could get away with anything, and I would probably end up taking the blame for something that I didn't even try to do. So
thing. She's a
Good liar. Let's just say she's the good liar, and you can't lie at all.
I am a manipulator.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, it was honestly such a blast talking to you both. Like Kendra and Kansas. Oh my God, Kansas.
People call me Kansas. They're like, your name is not spelled like the state. I'm like, yes, it is.
or Candace, we get
Candace. I get Candace a lot.
but it's yeah.
Candace,
get it.
I can hear that. It sounds like that, but no. But like reading the name, you gotta say it correctly, right?
Right.
But it was so nice to chat with you both. I can't wait to see the posts from your first performance since October. That's so exciting, and I'm sure you guys are both out of your minds excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a blast, and we will probably be filming everything.
Yes.
It's our first time out the shoot in a while, so we are ready to go.
You have to. Well, I want you guys back on the show whenever you guys can. Maybe in a couple months, we'll get you back and we can talk about when you guys actually perform Yellow Frames to people and see the feedback personally.
I know.
Awesome.
It's going to be a blast. We just wanted to say, too, thank you to anyone who has listened or bought the CD, bought from our website. It's been
Just showing us support.
yeah,
you know?
because it's been, I mean, a hard year for, I think, everyone. And so no matter what avenue you're in, just supporting other humans during this crazy, weird year and a half that it's been is the best thing. And so for people to actually still even have any interest in us after the year that we've had and COVID, I mean, thank you so much for anyone that has even bothered. So we are just so appreciative. And thank you for having us on the show. I mean, this has been so much fun.
This has been a blast. Yeah. You know what? And going back on that point real quick, supporting people, that's what we all need to do in a time like this. Just support each other instead of always being down on each other or like trying to tear people down. Because like
we need support and we need respect.
Support and respect and a little bit more Yellow Frames. Maybe we all need to look on a brighter side.
Yeah.
I love that.
Living life, the yellow frames, put 'em on, watch the weather change. It becomes what you make